All right, man. So, like, what was your path into like tattooing? Like, did you have like formal training or were you self-taught?
No, I didn't do any formal training literally at all.
So you just hit the ground running.
Yeah, I mean, I always was drawing stuff as a kid and growing up, I was really into anime. And then I was into, sculpting and working with my hands and making stuff out of my hands. And then that eventually turned into more like drawing and stuff like that. I don't do any like official art training until like 2 years into being an artist. And I finally went to college.
How old were you when you became like I guess an official art? Like when you had your
I
first like
was
gun?
been tattooing almost 9 years now, and I'm 33, so that's what, like 25-ish, 24.
Yeah,
Damn,
mass
younger than
trash,
me.
dude. Yeah.
Everybody says I look 25, and I'm like,
You don't look
That's a good
33,
thing.
that's for sure.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you definitely don't. Yeah, do you notice that as you get older and age, you're just like, yeah, I do look 26, 25.
Well,
Yeah.
it's weird because all the younger kids now look older. Like they're on like T
They're all taking like
boosters or
tests
fucking
and they're
steroids or
yeah,
something.
TRT and stuff.
20-year-olds look like they're 35 now.
Yeah, my like 17-year-old, like, what is it? Nephew, I guess. Yeah, nephew. Dude, I was at dinner last night with him. He was just talking, yapping his mind off about like, you think I should take tests? Like, I don't know about my macros. I'm like, bro, you are 17, dog. Like, sit down and just go to the gym.
What the hell is a macro?
Your macros are like your nutrients, you know.
Oh,
All right, go ahead,
I
Gaby.
guess that shows my.
So you were talking about like what was your path into tattooing? So like what made you get into ornamental dot work and stuff like that? Mandalas. I knew you loved doing mandalas.
Yeah, I mean, I always had like a passion for it. I think it's cool. I think tattooing is one of the more difficult art forms that just exist as it is. And then I was like, how do I make this even harder on myself, kind of? Because if something isn't difficult, it's hard for me to like pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And I found geometric, and I was like, wow, this is really hard to create symmetry on,
For sure.
something like your arm or your leg that's not symmetrical. And I was kind of doing it like every once in a while. But I actually had like a really gnarly DMT trip with a couple of friends at a shop I worked at, and it was super slow. It was like right after COVID, and we're all just chilling, having beers, and my buddy comes up and he's like, hey, bro, you want to do some DMT? And I was like, man, we're not doing nothing. Might as well, right? Let's just have some fun. And the whole trip, all I saw were like sacred geometry and like
Wow.
mandalas,
probably
like,
the
all
cool-
this crazy stuff. I was like floating above a city, and I like fell into mandalas. I don't even know how to describe it. It was super
I was
weird.
not expecting that answer at all.
I know, yeah.
That's the
And
worst.
then after that, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a sign. So I just started like really investing myself into this style, and then all of a sudden now it's just all I do.
Like literally fell into it.
Yeah, I was. So initially I was like
Fell
floating
into it.
I was like floating in the sky with this little like ball of light, and it was like, oh, if you don't follow me, you'll die. And I was like, okay, I'll follow you. Like, no problem. And we're like flying over the city, dude. And I'm just, dude, I felt like I was in there for hours. And then all of a sudden, the ball of light was just like, all right, see ya. And I just left, and I was like, man, that was weird. And then I just was like falling. And then there was just like mandalas. Like I was like falling into them. And as soon as one would leave, another one would come. And then they had like emotions and like energy to them. It was just, it was super weird.
Well, so it's a spiritual journey into.
Yeah, it was
geometry.
a wild one for sure.
That's how I've never heard that. That's a good one.
That's a
for
good one,
sure.
man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
This started off real good.
Yeah. hell yeah. So like
it was a wild day.
when you tie into that, right? So like mandala, and like geometric, do you freehand your designing, or do you use like computers and like
So
how do you get into it?
So
to
usually
speak?
when it comes to the layouts themselves, like how it's going to form on your body, I'll freehand that part
Okay.
because I like to have that be more fitted to the person
Right.
instead of like this cookie cutter, like, oh, this is exactly how it has to be.
Right,
Because,
right.
You coming in, even though we're similar body size, your arm could be completely different than mine.
Right.
Like where the bones stick out, or like maybe one part of your arm is
Yeah, my
thicker.
kneecaps are weird.
Yeah, everybody has like
I
weird
have like
parts of their
funky
body.
kneecaps.
Mine are crooked. Like,
Yeah, he's gonna
They're like that.
He's gonna.
Yeah, mine do that too.
yeah,
so-
you would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would know. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so obviously
He
with
knows
like,
all about your kneecaps.
Oh yeah, pretty intimate with that. But when it comes to like mandalas or the patterns themselves, I use Procreate on my iPad.
And then whatever you can't do on Procreate, or once you
Yeah,
like get stencil on, you'll try to
draw
fill
that
in with like marker or whatever. That's pretty cool.
That way, it's like a little bit of both,
Yeah, that's sick. I was always curious. I'm like generally curious.
Yeah, so what's like your biggest challenge when tattooing? Like, is it, or like, what's like your least favorite part, I guess? Like the most challenge, like, oh, like it's the stencil, reapplying, applying, or is it like, the depends on who you're tattooing, if they're like annoying or like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
maybe,
I would say yeah, the clients definitely can make a huge difference. You
yeah,
know, you can have like a really awesome design and a really cool tattoo, and if the client sucks, I mean, the tattoo will still be cool, but you're just not going to have as much fun in the process of doing it. You know,
mm-hmm.
I'm pretty fortunate with my clientele base that I don't usually have like scumbags or cheapos or brokies or,
Yeah,
you know, people who complain too much or make this a difficult process. I usually, you know, especially when it's like a first time with a new client,
mm-hmm.
I like to have them come in so we can sit down and we can kind of get to know each other a little bit,
Yeah,
just to make sure that we do at least vibe on at least a little bit. You know,
yeah, like us when we came in, we became like pretty close friends. It was like the
yeah.
third
So the third
session.
session, yeah, we were.
But yeah, I can definitely see that, and yeah, it definitely depends on the client.
Yeah, especially for like my work because I do such large scale stuff.
Yeah,
Like
so what do you,
I'm going to be spending that much time with somebody, I have to make sure at least we can at least have like a nice status quo where like I'm not making them uncomfortable and they're not making me uncomfortable, or making sure they're not like a racist fucking asshole or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, what about like, have you ever had like a big piece like planned out and then like you want to finish it, but like they're not coming back, and you like had this big piece
Oh,
that you made.
I probably have 20 tattoos minimum right now that I can think of
Does that make you mad?
that are just floating out there somewhere. They're, you know, either got it finished by somebody else or they
Don't have the funds.
don't have the funds. Maybe, I mean, it's so weird. Maybe I said something that made them uncomfortable, and to me, it wasn't.
I doubt it.
You know what I mean? There's so
normal.
many. I don't usually do things like that, you know, but there's so many like million reasons why that person never came back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could have just been the pain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which is always there.
Yeah.
And I don't let people use numbing cream because
You have to earn your tattoos.
Yeah,
That's what he told me.
yeah,
Yes,
I'm an
I
asshole.
have to earn my tattoos.
I thought you used numbing cream on your nipples.
He didn't do my nipples.
Oh, see, look at that.
Bitched out.
You
Yeah,
fucking
look
ratted
at
me
that.
out. You're a
Yeah.
snitch.
Yeah.
You're a snitch, dude. You already ratted me out.
Oh, man.
We tried it, man.
So you just have little circles when everything else is done.
Oh no, we did the nipples.
I did
We
my
didn't do the
nipples.
nipples, and then we did the nipples because they
Oh,
look like
okay.
milk duds.
Yep, it looks
So,
weird when you
yeah, it
don't
looks
have
really
It
weird.
does look weird.
But
yeah.
we tried it with no numbing cream, and like
I did it. It's horrible.
because
My
I
artist
was
recorded
too.
it,
We
too.
talked about this in the first episode, but because I was too jumpy with it, I don't want to have it fucked up, and I don't want him to
Yeah.
fuck it up. So like, the best thing we could do was do that. You know?
That's it.
Okay, he
We
couldn't.
tried though.
He
and I
couldn't.
didn't like it.
He
I'll
couldn't
tell you
take
that.
the pain. He couldn't.
like
He
it.
couldn't take the pain, guys. That's what really
I don't have my
happened.
nipples tattooed.
What?
I don't have my nipples tattooed, and I probably
Well,
never will.
let's go into that because I wanted to talk about the time when you did my knee ditch behind the knee. I remember it was like I was literally excruciating pain, and
He didn't
you
give
were
a
like
fuck.
he was
He
getting
didn't
pissed
fuck.
because I kept on like jolting
Yeah, don't move.
and
dude.
jolting, and I fucking tell me about that time. Let's tell everyone.
It's not even being pissed at you. It's just more pissed at like the situation, I guess, more than anything. Because like I know it hurts, and you're going to be jumpy on your legs quite a bit, regardless of the pain or not.
Mhm.
Legs are just like a weird jumpy, like body part. But it's more like I'm like, okay, I got to do super precise work. I got to make
Right.
sure everything is symmetrical. And Gabe's like, and sometimes I'm not even touching him yet. And it's
That
just
can
like,
make perfect sense. Yeah, 'cause,
he's like predicting the pain, so he's tensing up before I'm even like tattooing him.
Yeah, but you did text me after because he didn't have his knee ditch tattooed yet. And
No, I
like,
still don't.
months. Oh, I thought you said you weren't. Oh, well, you said you got close to it. There it is.
I got close to him.
And you're like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. Yeah, that shit was like the one of the worst pains I've ever had. You remember texting you that?
nope, I have no idea what you're
Yeah,
talking
he
about.
does remember.
No idea
it
what
was
you're
super
talking
bad.
about.
I can tell you from experience. I did
sorry.
all around my.
If I don't
legs.
remember, it didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty.
Since we're
bad.
on the snitching thing right now, the snitching.
Dude, what do you want from me, bro? He's over here talking about you got to earn it, and like you didn't earn your. I earned my nipples, but like you still got it done. You know,
Kind of.
but I guess. All right. What kind? But since we're talking about that one, since we're talking about Gabe's, like, what tattoo or like project do you think you're most proud of, and why? If we couldn't include Gabe, if it even is.
That's definitely one of them. I think it's a really cool design. I'm super proud of that. It's kind of hard to pick, like
Do you have
which
like
one is my ultimate favorite.
a top three? Or is it just
I would
like
say like his
they're all like
legs would probably be top three. I like the contrast. The flow is really nice.
his
Um,
leg came out sick, by the way. It
yeah, I'm
did.
super
I know he
stoked on
does
that
get a
one.
lot of love
I
on his
still get
legs.
people that are like, "Yo, can you do something like this?"
Yeah, it's super
On this
cool.
tattoo?
Yeah, I still have people hit me up all the time about that, which
Yeah.
is pretty good considering it's been like 2 years since we finished.
Yeah.
I have like a back piece that I had done recently that I'm pretty proud of.
I think I have photos of that
Yeah,
we'll
probably.
showcase. It's like a big bad boy.
It's hard to choose like a top favorite or even like a top three because there's so many pieces that I've done that I've learned something from, or like there's even tattoos that I've done that aren't like necessarily like the best thing I've ever done, but like my experience with that client was just really cool. Like
So
people
you
who have
like that.
become long time lasting friends.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know what I mean? So it's hard to choose.
I definitely feel like, especially when people who book like bigger pieces, you form like a definite relationship.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like all my artists, because at this point I'm booking just massive pieces. We spend so much time together. As long as you're also like age kind of has to do with it too, and we're all kind of in our early 30s, we'll say. So
Yeah.
like I've learned that too, especially with like Sergey, who's done my legs. Like at this point we're like boys, but like
Mhm.
I feel like you like form that bond whether you like it or not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you're spending so much time together.
Yeah, it's part of the experience, you know what I mean? That's honestly one of my favorite things about tattooing is just getting to know. I mean, getting to know him just throughout the process of doing that leg and
Right.
fixing his arm and stuff.
Yeah,
Now I
yeah.
have a friend for life, basically.
Yeah.
And that's
which is
one of
sick.
this is one of 100 people that I've tattooed in probably a year, maybe. I don't even know how
Yeah.
many people I tattooed a year, but if I can make one good friend out of a tattoo and do a really cool piece, that's pretty
Right.
awesome to
And
me.
get paid.
And yeah, the pay's
And
nice.
get
I like the money. Yeah, the money's nice too.
Yeah. So when tattooing, how do you ensure like consistency and clarity on, is it depend on the person's skin tone? Do you have special techniques you use just from experience on people's different skin tones, like white versus brown versus black, versus like, how it's gonna age, like through time? Like this is aged really well, but also my skin type is a little bit different than a lot of people's.
Yeah, you definitely have like a lighter skin tone, which helps. Obviously, like the lighter the skin tone, the easier it is to portray like a nice clean tattoo, Once you get to like darker tones, it's really more about just heavier contrast, Because if you have like skin tone like mine, you can put the really nice soft light tones of like black and gray or like the pinks or the yellows and stuff like that. Once you start getting to darker tones, you kind of have to realize that those lighter tones is the skin tones, essentially.
Do you like pack it in more with those?
No, the technique itself is still the same. It's just like of applying the tattoo is still the same.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just how you do like your contrast, with when you get really dark skin tones, you take out the light tones.
Yeah.
And then you'll do like black to like a mid-tone or even black to their skin tone.
Yeah.
Compared to like doing my skin where you would do black, not as black, and like a mid-tone, then like a medium tone, then a light tone.
Mm-hmm.
So that, it changes definitely on skin color would be one of the bigger concerns, I guess, technically.
For sure. So then with skin colors and stuff, like, did you ever have a tattoo that like didn't come out exactly how you had planned as far as like healing or what is it? Client skin healing issues, and then like,
we can all
just
say
what
that.
did you like what did you learn from that?
I mean, we can all say that. I mean, I think that happens to all of us on a
do you have like
constant
one
basis.
that like sticks out in your head? You don't have to like use anybody's name, but just like a session maybe where like, and then
yeah, I would say like when I first started getting into doing like black work,
okay,
one of my problems was I was going too slow through this process.
okay,
So I was overworking skin or causing like, not necessarily like scarring or anything, but there was like trauma to the skin, which obviously is something that like you don't want in tattooing at all.
right.
And this was like relatively early in my career, and that unfortunately, it took me longer than I cared to admit to really figure out how to get that technique perfect. And even, I mean, it's still not even perfect now.
Right.
But there was definitely like a handful of blackouts or like some heavy black work that I'd done in the past where I'm like, man, that did not heal good. And the clients, and I'm more of like, I always take accountability on, if it's my mistake or not.
Right.
And I think that's really important as a tattooer,
Yeah.
because clients, they love to blame themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, when something is my fault, like, I'll admit it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I've had
I mean, that's
blackwork in the
commendable
past.
for sure.
I mean, I've even had like times where I tried to push myself, where I was like, oh, I could do this, no problem.
Right.
And it's in like a tough area.
Yeah.
And then I found out, real quick of how much more difficult it was than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
So, of course, that's just part of the learning process.
Yeah.
And even to this day, I still have tattoos occasionally where I'm like, the shading was too light or it was too heavy. Or I wish I had gone darker with my dot work in this section, or there's always something.
Have you ever like hit them up, like if you've known that has happened, and be like, "Hey, come back in, I'll pass back over it."
Yeah.
without,
So
like, no
anytime I have large projects, and I don't usually tell people this till the end because it's unnecessary until then. But I always tell people, if it's either the second to last session or the last session, every single tattoo I do, I'm always like, "Hey, once this is healed, I'm gonna have you come in. We'll do like a nice little touch-up session.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to make sure everything is healed perfectly. Because sometimes tattoos just heal bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be them scraping in on something or whatever the situation
Sun exposure, chlorine.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or
too
whatever
much
it is.
Aquaphor. Yeah.
Sure. So I always like to go in on those sessions and clean stuff up, or like, maybe the black saturation is good here, but there's like a little bit of a light spot here.
Right.
And I never charge for those sessions. I feel like that's
dope.
I just think it's cool. And I feel, I feel almost responsible to make sure that it's perfect.
Yeah, I think you guys do a good job, especially like you guys that are like higher end, because you also understand that like you're not just doing like a flash tattoo, like, and you also like Gabe walks around and it's his body, but it's your name on his body.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like a lot of you guys on this level understand that like it's like a Mona Lisa that can take a walk for you, right? This is like your name's on it. So people go, "Oh, who did your leg?" And Gabe will be like, "Austin
people
Walsh."
ask
and
me
if it's
all
right,
the time,
and if it's like beat up or it's kind of whatever, and it was like a tattoo, so that's like super cool. That's super commendable that like you'll take that in, because I do know higher end artists that are like, "See ya," I won't name anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I think that goes back to like building that relationship between, as a tattooer and the client too, is like over time we get to know each other, and like obviously like I want the tattoo to come out as good as possible for anybody.
Right.
But especially if it's like a homie and we've done all this time together and like we get to know each other, I really, really want to make sure it's perfect now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That's dope.
So we've seen that you're booked into 2026. You're very busy, especially since I remember when. What are you laughing about? What are you laughing about?
Your pitch just got me going, dude. It was funny.
Okay. Whatever.
Your pitch.
We'll have to cut his laugh out. I guess.
You were really booked out.
Yeah, you're really booked.
I mean, it's
Gabe
true.
does the editing, so don't worry. He'll make sure that he's good on this.
You're booked into 2026. How do you like manage deposits, client wait lists, stuff like that? Do people get turned off by and then not being able to get in right away, and then like you lose that person? Like, how do you handle all these different like variabilities and variables? Like,
I'm pretty low effort, to be honest with you, when it comes to my booking.
Do you still have a front desk girl doing all that?
No,
stuff?
So I had always done my own booking up until I worked at Basilica.
Yeah,
great shop, love that place. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I really did enjoy having somebody doing the booking for me, because it's nice just to show up, do my tattoos, and then go home.
Right.
And I can check my schedule, obviously, if I need to take a day off or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then when I left Basilica, it was all back onto me. And it's part of my least favorite part of tattooing is doing all the like admin stuff, just because it's boring and, it's not like any kind of creativity to it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just the boring part. And I had an assistant for a while. I just wasn't into it. And I like to keep it like really personal too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not like, I don't have like a cookie cutter way where you're like,
Right.
"Hey dude, I want to get tattooed." And it's not like, you're not going to get a response back that's like, "Hello, thank you for your interest in getting tattooed by Austin." Blah, blah, blah. I don't use like AI for any of that bullshit. I think it's
Austin charges this much per day. We expect deposit by this day.
Yep.
If you can't
we
respect.
we will hold your appointment for 48 hours unless you leave a deposit. I try to keep it really human.
Mm-hmm.
People hit me up and like, "Hey, I want to get you know, 9 times out of 10, it's usually geometric or mandala, blackwork kind of stuff that I normally do. Every once in a while, I'll get like something cool. Like, you know, I had a chick hit me up recently for like a BioShock tattoo. Instead of
like the video game.
Yeah, the video game.
Yeah,
And I love doing video game stuff. It's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a kind of a nice break from doing, you know, dot work and black work all the time. But when I do that, I'm like, wow. I'm like, dude, I love BioShock.
Like you can relate to it. So
Yeah.
it's like really
And then,
cool.
you know, there's also the flip side where, you know, I have this, I would say almost once a week, I usually turn somebody down. It's like the minimum.
Of like what, that you just don't want to do that tattoo? Like
no,
not
it's
not your thing.
I guess now that I am as booked out as I am, I can be a lot more picky about
Selective.
what I want to do, you know? So like a lot of like filler work I don't usually do anymore.
Or like
it's just not
or
fun.
What's it called? Like cover-ups. You know?
Oh, I love doing cover-ups.
Really?
Oh, I'll do cover-ups.
That's
all day.
surprising.
Oh, I love cover-ups.
Most artists hate
I love
doing
them.
cover-ups.
With my style, it's awesome because there's so much heavy black in geometric already. I'm like, oh, you want to cover this tattoo, but you want to get a half sleeve? Sweet. Black it out.
Really?
Put a mandala, put some, you know, geometric stuff around it and stuff like that. Boom.
That's super
Instant cover-up.
Do you
It's
do
so
like
easy.
the opaques, or do you just go right over it?
Nope,
do you
I'll
try
just
to
go
use
right over it.
opaques to hide it, or you just
You
use
can.
that as part
You can definitely use opaques. Personally, that's not something I need to do.
That's pretty sick. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love cover-ups.
I've never heard that. I've never
I'll
heard
do them
of
all
artists
day
be like,
long.
hell yeah.
Love me a good
Through
cover-up,
them all.
you know?
Besides like an actual like artist who only does cover-ups, and then there's a couple
I
that
love 'em.
just do cover-ups.
Love them. Bring them all on.
So when you're actually tattooing, right? So obviously you have a home tattoo studio, which is I believe Sacredhound, right? That's where you're at. Right now.
So Sacredhound is my Instagram.
Okay.
I'm currently working at Hive Tattoo.
You're at Hive.
Yeah, it's owned by my buddy Swarm. Great guy.
Or you also do like guest spots and stuff as well,
Yeah,
right?
I travel constantly.
How do you manage those? And like, do you have like a preference? Do you have like a sweet spot you like to go to?
There are definitely shops in like certain cities that I go to just because I already have like established kind of like a foothold in that shop, you know?
Right.
And I'm usually friends with like the owners of whatever shop I go to. I don't just like, I used to like earlier in my career before I started networking more.
Right.
I used to like just message a bunch of shops in whatever city I wanted to go to.
Right.
And be like, hey, here's my work. Can I just come by and tattoo for like the weekend? Or just a couple days, or like how many days are you guys okay with?
Right.
It's a little different guest spots compared to like conventions.
Yeah, for sure.
There's set days for this weekend, and you just pick whichever city you want to go to. And then there's invitationals too, and those are usually my favorite conventions because not just anybody can go to those ones.
Talking about like Golden State.
You have Hunts Vegas out in Alabama. A really good friend of mine hosts that one. I mean, there's all kinds. Gila, I think that one's invite only too.
So your favorites are like invite only.
Yeah,
Or like if you were to rank like your own shop or like home shop Hive versus guest spot versus invitational only, how would you?
I'm always going to prefer the home shop.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, you
can
have
understand.
a booth. Everything's set. All my stuff is there. You know what I mean? Like everything's set up. Nothing's in the way. I don't have to move anything. Then I would say guest spots definitely a good second place.
Yeah.
Because you're also, again, working in a booth. It's not your stuff, but, you know, generally speaking, every tattoo booth is set up pretty much the same way.
Do you have like certain states that you bounce to? I'm assuming you do.
So there's certain states that I go to every year. So like Pennsylvania, I have a shop out there in Pittsburgh.
Cool. So you
I go there every single year in September. I used to have a shop out in San Diego that I would go to, but me and the owner have some beef now. So
it is what it is.
I mean,
it happens.
I had an ex-girlfriend that ended up working at his shop, and of course, she's not going to say anything positive.
Oh
about
yeah,
me. So
of course.
His dumb ass just took her side, you know what I mean, and then left me in the dust. He just like blocked me out of fucking nowhere too.
Yeah.
I texted him like a week after I noticed it, and I was like, "You're a pussy, bro. What the fuck?" I was like, "We've been homies for 8+ years."
Didn't reply at all.
That's really whack.
Dude, 8+ years I've been friends with this guy.
We've all
Just
dealt with that
blocks him.
stuff. Like I have like ex-girlfriends are friends with your mutual friends, and then they
just
take
dumb shit,
sides,
dude.
and it's just so stupid.
Just dumb shit. It is what it is.
Childish.
But yeah, California, there's a spot I go to out there. There's a spot in Arizona that I can pretty much always go to. I mean, I got friends.
So you're
all
across
over.
the country. So
Oh, yeah.
So you heard it first. Like
Florida.
whether you're on the East Coast, whether you're on the West Coast, like you'll be somewhere close to somebody.
Mhm.
So that's
Yeah, I
pretty
tried
cool.
to. Yeah.
Do you go to Texas at all, or?
Yeah, I love Texas.
Yeah, that's cool.
Dallas,
So you're everywhere.
El Paso.
That's sick, yeah. Because a lot of artists will kind of stay in like their geographical area. So it's cool that like you span all the way over to like PA. Because now you can hit that whole 95. you know.
Yeah, staying on your, like, obviously we're West Coast, so staying on the West Coast is smarter
Right.
because, me flying all the way to Pittsburgh
Mm-hmm.
and me tattooing, let's say I start a sleeve out there.
Right.
The likelihood of that guy flying out to get a tattoo finished by me compared to somebody that's in California or Arizona or
To
Washington
follow it.
is going to be a lot harder for that guy to travel to come get tattooed by me than it is for somebody that's only a state away.
Right.
Arizona's what, a 4-hour, 5-hour drive?
Right. You have to,
That
like,
guy will
wait.
come in to get his tattoo finished any weekend.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. But then it's like perfect for you because then it gives you a reason to go back, I guess. If
Yeah.
you have a
Oh, no, I
couple
love traveling.
unfinished pieces.
I love traveling.
Then you like already know, like,
You
okay,
like make
like,
vacations out of it.
Oh yeah,
everything?
it's
Yeah.
literally just a working vacation.
that's
Yeah.
kind of what
I'll
I
ask
do.
my girlfriend sometimes. I'm like, hey, where do you want to go? She's like, oh, I want to go to Nashville. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me just find a shop. And work
Yeah.
there.
That's pretty sick.
And I'll
too.
just
That's
I'll
pretty
just
cool.
message a couple
The whole
shops.
thing's like paid for.
Yeah, basically. And sometimes I'll we'll do a vacation, and I'll add on like 2 extra days just so I can tattoo those
Yeah.
days, and I work my budget exactly to where either I'll break even or I'll make like $100 or $200.
That's sick. Yeah.
And I could do that damn near anywhere.
I do that, but like getting tattoos, and it's the polar opposite.
Yeah.
I have the money for the tattoo, and then I'm like, we'll stay an extra 3 days
See, I do
and
that
do
too,
it,
though.
and then I'm just like in the hole. But
I
like,
do that too.
It's cool, right? Because you're traveling from like a client's perspective, right? Like you go to travel, because I've traveled for almost all my tattoos, and you go see the artist, and however you kind of gauge it, like a lot of times I'll go a day early for jet lag, depending on how far I'm going.
Yeah, that
Whether
makes
it's like,
sense.
or like my arms, I went to France, so I'm not going to get tattooed the next day. you
No,
know?
why would you do that?
So we'll stay there. I'll get tattooed for whatever days in a row, and then we'll do another like 3-4 days. So it's a way to like see different parts too, because like some of these artists aren't just going to be in like, what is it, the most popular, like Paris, France. Like he wasn't in Paris. He was in a little place called Annecy, which I found out at the time, which we'll get into, was like the hot spot for every local in France. That's where they vacation. And I would have never known, unless I found an artist. So it's definitely cool, but I'm like the pull out. I just spend all the money. See,
I do that too. When I went and got this tattoo on my face was by, I would say, arguably one of the best geometric artists in the entire world.
Yeah.
Mitch Koch, dude, is incredible.
That's cool.
He's-
So duly noted. We'll try to get
Yeah.
Mitch out here.
He's amazing. Lives out in Wisconsin,
Okay.
but he's an amazing
I was
artist.
just there last November.
Yeah, and he's a good dude too. He's great. He's one of my biggest like motivators and
Oh,
biggest-
okay.
yeah, he's amazing.
That's sick.
But I flew out
Did
because
the
I was like,
same
hey, I
thing?
want to get tattooed by you. And he's like, well, yeah, when do you want to do it? And I was like, I would love to do it on my birthday. And I was like, do you mind if I work a couple days beforehand? So I just guest spotted at his shop. Yeah, looked for a shopper. I did a 3-day sleeve. I got tattooed by him the next day on my birthday, and then I spent like a day and a half just exploring.
That's pretty cool.
Wait. So like when you did that, did you get like a walk up in there? Because I was just gonna ask you, like, you have a strong IG presence. Like, how do you handle like social media? Like, what's your outlook on that? And like, since you went to that shop, did someone from Wisconsin like know and like hit you up, or was it like a walk in?
So anytime I travel, you can always do those like paid advertisements on Instagram,
Yeah.
So I'll just throw it up. I usually do one about 2 months ahead of time,
Okay.
just to kind of get people to see like, oh, this guy's coming. And maybe I'll get one tattoo out of that, maybe.
Do you put a lot of money into those?
No, I
ads,
don't
or
put
just-
too much. I usually do like $10 a day for like 3 days.
Okay.
And then,
wow.
yeah, and then
you get a lot
depending,
of turnover for that.
oh, almost instantly.
And can you set it up geographically? So
Yep.
if you want to go to
Yeah.
Wisconsin,
Yeah,
you
so
can
I'll
be
put
like, I
whatever
wanna
the shop
post
is.
in Wisconsin.
Yes, wherever the shop is, I'll do like a 50-mile radius.
Oh,
That's
shit.
really
Yeah,
cool.
it's great.
Yeah.
That's sick.
And you can do it to where it's like specific to people who want to get tattooed or have interest in tattoos,
That's dope.
And then, so I'll post the one about 2 months out. If I can get, like 1 or 2 days booked out of that one, the next one I'll probably do like a $5. But if I don't book anything out of the 2-month one, the one I do it a month, I'll usually do the same. And usually the month out one, I can pretty much book out my whole trip instantly through that.
Wow, that's really cool.
What's the nice thing about that style is there's not a lot of people that do it. And there's
Yeah.
definitely not a lot of people that do it well.
I feel
This
like
is
in
small.
that neck of the woods, people don't really.
No,
Yeah.
nobody wants to do it.
Yeah.
Anytime I've worked in a shop, when people see my stencils, they see like my designs, they're like, no.
Yeah.
They're like, I'd rather quit tattooing.
You know, you know what I've learned though with like geometric, going from somebody who has no geometric, and like I can tell you right now, I wasn't like a huge fan of it, but like seeing it on paper versus seeing it on flesh is very different.
Yeah, drastically
Does that,
different.
you know what I'm saying? So like if you showed me Gabe's hexagons or whatever he has on the side on a piece of paper, I'd be like, eh. But like seeing it on his leg, like I like that aspect of his sleeve. So I feel like once you put it on like skin, I feel like geometric takes like a whole new body
Oh, definitely.
and like motion, and
'Cause
like
on
that's
paper-
definitely one. Yeah,
On paper,
it's-
like it's hexagons, bro.
right,
Who
right.
cares?
But like, you know what I'm
How is that
saying?
even a
Like,
tattoo,
yeah,
bro?
but like once you like, especially so like placement is definitely a big key. But then like also like, yeah, it's a hexagon, but like there's way more which I know goes into it. But like once I've learned that like seeing it on skin, I'm like, maybe I got a couple spots I can fit something in, you know? Like,
There's always somewhere to find a mandala.
I have right there, you know?
Uh-huh.
I'll let you do a cover up. You like doing the cover ups.
I do like cover ups.
That's what we'll do. Kind of going into like your Instagram, right? We were talking about Instagram. So Sacredhound, Houndstooth. They're kind of spiritual. Is there a reason you went with these names? Why these names?
So it's a little bit of a story, but so when I was a kid, my nickname was Puppy.
Okay.
My mom put like dog treats in my lunch when I was a kid, and everybody saw it. And
Like
they were
legitimate dog treats?
yeah, that's like a
Okay.
joke, you know.
Okay,
and everybody,
okay,
of course, when I was a kid, I was so desperate for attention. 'Cause
Right.
I was just like the weird little kid, you know.
Right.
So I ate a couple of them as like a joke, and then everybody started calling me Puppy, and then that died off for a long time. And then when I started tattooing, my initial name was Artistic Austin, which
Okay.
of course, as you can imagine, turned into Autistic Austin
Right.
almost immediately.
Right. I get it.
I would say within like 20 minutes of my first shift as an apprentice, they were like,
Oh,
"Oh,
wow.
Autistic Austin! I didn't know you were autistic."
And you were like, fuck.
I was
Damn
like,
it. That's a bad name.
So I changed it to Viking Puppy, and that was my Instagram for like a really long time.
Okay.
But I turned 30, and I was like, man, I can't do
Viking puppy no
puppy
more?
anymore.
You're not
Like,
a pup.
yeah, I'm not a pup anymore.
Okay. All right. I see how
And as like a geometric artist and just a sick of geometry kind of fan, you know, I was like, I got to find a way to kind of implement the two. So it ended up becoming Sacred Hound. So instead of a puppy, now it's a hound kind of thing.
Yeah. It's
And
cool.
Houndstooth is the shop I'm opening, but it actually is a geometric pattern too. So it really just kind of worked out.
That's sick.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, I
actually,
like
that's
the
actually really
spiritual
cool. Like, you have good stories for yourself. I'm glad we have you here today. DMT tripped right into geometric, puppy into the hound. Like, and then when you hit your 40s, you're gonna become like the wolf pack. You know,
Yeah.
like, fucking.
He's evolving.
Yeah,
right.
But
You're
I don't know what's
evolving.
after a hound, but maybe it is a wolf.
I don't know, like wolf pack.
I'll let you know when
like,
I
What's
turn
that?
Alpha.
What's that
Alpha
three-headed
hound.
dog? The
I don't know.
Cerberus.
Cerberus?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like the next one.
Sacred
That's the next
Cerberus.
one.
Ooh, actually, that's
What's the one from Harry Potter?
That's actually not bad.
The three-headed hound.
Yeah, I think it's the Cerberus, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, that's
That would be cool.
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So when like clients are hitting you up, what should they avoid, just for like the viewers here like watching? What should they avoid asking, or what should they know or like think of when asking about getting a geometric or mandala or sacred geometry type tattoo?
Avoid. I guess I would say like the thing I like the least is when people come in and like I like that people have ideas or like a flow of what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But when you come in, you know, especially if you're going to email an artist and you're like, oh, I want to get a sleeve, but it has to have this and this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
Which is fine that you want elements in a tattoo. But when people are unbelievably strict about what has to be in the design, you're almost like kind of holding your artist back a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
You know, especially because, you know, I'll give you a perfect example. I had a guy come in and he wanted to get a geometric sleeve. And I was like, okay, perfect. That's what I do. But he wanted like a flag in it, and he wanted some like hieroglyphs or some bullshit. And then he wanted like his astronomical or astrological signs from his family members in there too.
Holy shit.
And he wanted like some...
So it's not geometric anymore.
No, and he wanted like
It's a
a
black and
It's a
gray
vision.
tattoo.
Yeah, it's a vision at that point.
This dude was trying to write a book.
Yeah.
You know, and he wanted like a name or two in there too. And I was like, hey,
Holy
like
crap.
this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. I mean, I felt bad because I damn near shot down everything he wanted. But I was like, dude, you want a geometric sleeve with a bunch of bullshit. Like none of this is geometric. Like none of this is going to have any flow. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense with itself. I'm like, we can make a way for this to work, but it's not going to be a geometric sleeve.
Right.
You know, and of course he was all pissy with me and blah, blah, blah. And he was like trying to say this and say I'm not a good artist, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, man, I just don't think I'm the right artist for you.
Mhm.
You know, or if people come, I would say probably my least favorite thing is when you're just like, hey, I want to get tattooed. And that's all people will email you. That's it.
Really?
Yeah. I had a guy the other day hit me up. Yo, I need ink.
Whoa.
So I hit him back up and I was like, yo, I need some info. He was like, you mobile? And I literally just ghosted that dude. I was like, no, I'm not fucking mobile.
I can only imagine.
Yo,
You know what
I need
mean?
deposits.
Yo.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, you know, so my advice would be, you know, if you're hitting up an artist for a tattoo, just communicate, you know, go back and forth. You know, some of your ideas might not work with the design that you want. It doesn't mean that necessarily you can't get that tattoo somewhere else or like as a different idea. But just being able to compromise, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, obviously, like we're the professionals.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you that something can't work just because I don't want to do it. Like if that's
Yeah.
something you want in your tattoo, I'll do my best to
I
make
mean,
it work.
it's your name going on it. So if you don't think it's going to look good, you don't want your name on that. Like,
Yeah,
you know
and
what I
that's,
mean?
you know, and if you're not willing to compromise, I just won't do the tattoo.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking out for you, and obviously I'm looking out for myself.
All right.
I'm not just going to do some bullshit on
Your
you and
brand.
be like, yep, guess what? I did this shitty tattoo.
Yeah.
I'd rather just not do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. It's like your name sits on it.
Yeah,
Once
and plus-
again,
You know, I might be the first artist they hit up, and I'm gonna be like, hey, that's just not going to work. And then they'll hit somebody else up, and they're like, hey, that's just not going to work. And they'll hit somebody else up, hey, that's just not going to work. And then eventually they're going to be like, oh shit, my idea is stupid.
have they ever circled back to you and like been like,
Oh, yeah.
hey,
All the time.
My
actually,
So I had one guy hit me up, and he wanted an exact copy of like an elbow mandala.
okay,
He's like, this mandala is perfect. I want this on my elbow exactly. And I was like, I don't copy tattoos.
right,
I was like, I'll do one that's similar.
right,
You know, I can make one that
Right.
looks, you know, almost exactly the same, but it's going to be different.
right,
And he was like, well, this is what I want. And I was like, well, you're going to have to go somewhere else, brother, because I don't copy other people's work.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
that's
an
fair.
artistic thing,
Yeah.
or it's an artistic integrity that I think all of us should have.
yeah, for sure.
So I just told him, I was like, yep. I was like, I'm just not going to do it.
And I'm
he
sure
was
you
like,
hear
well, I'll
come
just
forward.
find somebody else. And I was like, all right, cool. Have a good day, dude.
Good luck.
Yeah. Literally, I was like, hey, man, have a great day.
And then he
Yeah.
did he circle back to
Yeah.
you?
And about a month,
Yeah.
month and a half later, he was like, hey, man. So you actually know what? You're right. Yeah, I don't want somebody else's tattoo. And I was like, there it is. I was like, all right, buddy. I was like, let's book the tattoo. And we did it, and it was a great day.
Hell yeah. And he loved it, I'm
Yeah.
assuming?
No,
yeah.
he even said it was better than the reference.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
I was like,
listen
and
to
you
your
have
artist.
your own tattoo now. You're not just
Right.
copying
One of
somebody
one.
else.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. What advice would you give like artists that are like in your niche kind of style of like or in a niche style, whether it's like single line, fine line, mandala, ornamental, like for growing, like what's like the best advice for like up and coming guys that are trying to like stay in this niche category?
I think a big thing that really helped me whenever I was really trying to be a geometric mandala, you know, ornamental artist, was I think the more important thing for you more than anything is time tattooing that style that you want to do.
Right.
So I would give away tattoos for free all the time
Right.
because I just wanted to do them. And I can draw a mandala 100 times, but that's not going to give me nearly the amount of experience as it is to like actually tattoo it.
So you're chasing like the experience.
Yep, the
instead of
experience is going to be
chasing-
more important.
Don't be chasing money or like
The money will
fame or
come.
nothing. Like
Money's going to come.
you want to just kind of chase that experience and you want to get like ink to skin
Mhm.
instead of like what is it, the fake skin or like
Yeah, I mean,
pitch
fake
that
skin's
stuff.
cool. You can definitely do
Yeah.
some cool designs and stuff on them. I have a project that I'm working on right now
Right.
on fake skin. But it's like you said, man, the money, just forget the money.
Yeah.
You know what I
Don't even
mean?
worry
If
about
that,
it.
especially if that's something you really, really, really want to do,
Right.
nothing will replace the time of you actually doing it.
So just like anything else, practice,
It's-
practice,
yeah.
practice.
If you want to get good
And
at
it'll
something
eventually come. Yeah.
and you really want to be good at that and you want to be a specialty artist,
Right.
you have to make sacrifices.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? And, you know, one of my pet peeves is like whenever people are trying something new,
Mm-hmm.
they still charge the same as like they normally do. This might just be like a me thing. But like for
Like
me, whenever I
flat rate?
do styles that are not geometric, I charge less because
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
as good at them as I am at geometric.
Prorate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when I do realism or any kind of just like normal black and gray stuff, I charge $150 an hour because I'm not as good at it. I don't have as nearly as much experience doing it as I do with geometric, and I'm not as fast at it.
Right.
You know what I mean? My basic understanding of that style just isn't
Right.
up to like the tier of me
Your
charging
mandala.
200 or 250 an hour, or
Right.
whatever they charge. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think that's probably going to be more of a me specific thing.
Yeah.
But that's just how I work.
Yeah, but that's appreciated. You know what I mean? From the client's perspective, because you're at least sitting there and you're just like, okay, like I'll prorate you on this.
Yeah.
You know,
To me,
like,
it just seems fair.
at the same time, if I go to your page right now, it's clear that you're like
Yeah,
a
I'm a
mandala
geometric
artist.
artist,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So like But obviously, we have seen like other stuff too. I remember going over. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, I love doing other
little
stuff.
black and gray realism in there.
Yeah, I love doing
That's
other stuff.
dope,
It's fun.
you know?
But I'm not nearly as good at that as I am at geometry.
Right. Okay.
You
So
know,
practice.
so I don't feel like it's fair for me to charge the same.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
What's like your biggest technical breakthrough when, like, what like hit you? Did you ever have that moment where you were like, now I really know what the fuck I'm doing? Like, I'm good at this. Like, when was that moment? Or like for not for just for like sacred geometry, not for like everything else. I'm just talking about like, you know, because you're so into it now. So what was there a point where like a turning point where you're just like, fuck, I'm fucking really getting good at this stuff?
I don't think so.
No? Oh, he's just born good.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not
the
that.
DMT, bro.
No, it's the DMT.
It was the DMT, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I'm not nearly as good as I want to be. You know, I don't think I even have half of it figured out.
Well, looking ahead, where do you want to be? That's a good question to ask. Right
Oh, I
there.
mean, I want to.
Do you know where you want to be? Do you want to like own? Do you want to teach? Do you want to do like galleries?
So I'm opening up my own shop now,
Right.
which has always been like
Right.
a dream of mine since I was a kid.
Which is
I
awesome.
wanted to be a
Congrats,
tattooer.
by the way.
I
That's sick.
appreciate that. Thanks. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
It's not easy at all.
I know a little.
Which
We
you
know
guys-
a little
you guys
piece.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
you
little
guys
piece
know.
of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot. You know, it's a lot of money, a lot of investments. Every time
Mhm.
I fix this comes up.
Yeah.
Or, I'm like, oh, this is done. They're like,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
Yup.
That's
Yeah.
another $2,000. for that.
Anything that can go wrong will go
Yep.
wrong.
Yeah.
That's what happened with us too.
But going back to your question, I feel like I have moments like that all the time. You know, where I'm like doing something and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, that was easier.
Mm-hmm.
Or like I find a more
Yeah.
efficient way to get through a tattoo. You know, like if there's like a line work pattern and there's a bunch of lines that go down, I don't have to do like what I would normally do, where I start at the bottom and make my way up. I can go like this, and then I can go across. So we know whatever the technique
Yeah.
is. I feel like I learn small little things where I'm like, oh, that's making me better.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never had a moment where I was like, I figured it out.
Yeah.
I'm the best.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I'm so far from where I want to be artistically. And maybe it's just because there are so many just unbelievable artists.
What do you do to further your knowledge and teachings? Are you just specific things you do, artists you watch?
I mean, I can give you a list of 100 artists that I watch.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm always, like my time on Instagram is 90% of it's like looking at tattoos.
Learning.
You know, I zoom in on their tattoos to see like what the line size is, how far they bring their shading out,
Mm-hmm.
just their design overall. Like, I just try to learn anything I can from all these guys who are like, in my head, a million times better than I am.
Sponging.
Yeah,
Just
literally.
sponging what you
And I
can,
only ever
yeah.
get tattooed by people who are better than me.
Right.
So while they're tattooing, I'm like, hey, what are you doing there?
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you
I
running
could
so
see
high?
that.
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, so when you're doing this, what about this? I'm probably
Yeah.
the most annoying client ever. Because I'm also very vocal when I get tattooed. I don't know what it is, but
I
my
am
pain
too.
tolerance is low. So I'm always just like groaning and bitching.
I always let them know. I'm always like, yeah, that's a
Really
good
awesome.
spot. That's a good spot. Like,
No, not me. I'm
thinking,
like, fuck. No. And they're like, you good? I'm like, no, just keep going, dude. We're fine.
yeah.
And I'll just bitch and moan the whole
Just
time.
vocally, yeah. I'm the same way, dude.
When I'm not
Especially-
bitching and moaning, I'm like, so how far is your throat?
Oh,
What about
yeah.
this? That's a cool technique. Was it a 3? A 5? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
I've got to be
man.
so annoying.
Yeah, but like at least you take stuff in like that, So that's pretty cool.
Well, that's the way to do it.
And then you like learn it all. When you're like, how do you handle like compositional and large scale pieces? Like when symmetry meets organic flow, like wrapping designs around muscles and joints, like that's a big one, right? Like what's the best way to like go about that?
Yeah, I would say that's arguably probably one of the hardest parts of being a geometric tattooer, is because no body part is symmetrical by any
Right.
means. So it's a constant battle of, here's perfect symmetry, but then you lose a flow here, or you get more of a flow here, or something
Mhm.
like that, because there's so many different ways you can design a geometric tattoo as well,
Right.
which makes it more fun. And then you also have the input of the clients. Like, some clients, I'm like, hey, I think this would be a cool idea. And they're like, I just don't like mandalas. So now, here's my wheelhouse of tools that I can use to design this. And if they don't like mandalas, that takes like a pretty big tool out of my, toolbox that I can't use now, which is fine. And I'll just find a way to make it still cool.
So when you're doing larger scale pieces, do you think a lot of it is design, and do you do a lot of like back and forth between like stencil and hand because of people's geometric is all different, right? Larger, smaller, like skin tones. Obviously, the skin tone is a skin tone, but like his kneecap versus my kneecap versus your kneecap. So like, do you do a lot of back and forth, or is it like you kind of play it and then you use Sharpie or whatever
Yeah,
to
so
like
I
stencil in?
generally speaking, like when it comes to like large scale stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're supposed to design the whole thing all at once. You know,
Right.
like you don't just piece them together because then
Right,
it
right,
looks
right.
like you piece them together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have people come in for consultations beforehand, so I
Right.
can kind of see the anatomy a little bit. You know, because some knees are really bony, some knees are, you know, if they're like a heavier set person, that
Right.
changes the whole dynamic of everything too. And that's why I like to freehand my layouts and stuff,
Okay.
because then it just makes it easier to kind of work with you. Because if I have a stencil or I have like
Mhm.
a design and it's set this way, and let's say that you just have a fat knee, I don't know.
Right.
Bodies are crazy.
Right.
Mhm.
You have some guys that are this thin.
Right.
Then you got guys that are like this big,
Right.
or their thighs are this huge, and then their calves are, you know, my size.
Right.
It's crazy how different bodies can be. So freehanding all that on there and like seeing it beforehand is definitely,
So it's a lot of like freehand. So it's
Yeah.
big for your industry to definitely come in, like consultation, definitely come
that's, I
and
mean,
do
I don't know
that
if
thing.
that's how everybody works, but that's certainly how I work.
No, yeah, I know at least a lot of my artists, they'll do like day of, but it sounds like that's a lot harder to do day of
Yeah.
because it's so much back and forth,
Yeah,
which
large
makes
scale stuff
sense
is so much
because
different.
it's straight lines and it has to be on, and like I can't imagine doing like this. And you got to do a straight line, but like the body's not straight. So pulling lines like that, let alone like stenciling, getting that shape right, that's why I'm like, that's like something I'm most curious about.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
that's
there's
cool. So it's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of like
ways.
back and forth, and like once you get on there, like seeing visually.
Yeah,
So,
there's a
'cause
lot of ways
everybody's
to
different.
like kind of trick the eye to see
Mhm.
symmetry too. You know, because like the distance from here all the way around here is going to be different than it is from here to here, because your knee
Right.
just sticks out more on one side.
Right.
So you can play with shading, you can play with some line work and like patterns and stuff too,
That's
where
cool.
it's technically not symmetrical,
Right.
but you can play with the eye, and whenever you look at it, you're like, oh, it's symmetrical.
Illusions.
But then whenever you're actually like go in there and look at it, like obviously the distance is going to be different. So
Right.
the symmetry technically isn't 100%, but it looks
But
symmetrical.
from the eyes perspective.
When you look at it, it's symmetrical.
Yeah, that's sick.
Just fun little tricks.
That's cool. Yeah.
What are like your go-to setups, needles, brands? Is there any like brands or like maybe you have sponsors you like to shout out, or so certain just stuff you use every single time? I remember like when you tattooed me, you're like, these are the best gloves. I think you said it's like black diamond or something like that. Black diamond gloves. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite things about tattooing is so much of it is just your personal preference. You know, because like me, I like powder-free latex gloves. I don't like the
Okay,
powder
yeah.
ones. Powder ones are weird. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I
It
think I
feels
would
the same,
too.
but it still is different.
Yeah.
I will never use nitrile gloves
Okay.
ever for the rest, unless I have to. Like if you have a latex allergy.
Why is there something that happened with that?
No, some people just
Oh.
have latex allergies.
Oh, okay.
I had a friend that had latex allergies.
Yeah, sometimes it just happens, which is cool, and just know that I'll be miserable all day. So, because they're just so stiff and tight, I hate it. It just feels weird.
Uh-huh.
But like my machines, I use Dan Cubans.
Okay.
He's a machine builder, and I would say he's the best machine builder there is. Between
Okay.
him and Sobo One is another machine builder that I like.
Okay.
He does more coils, and then Dan Cuban does coils, and he does crossovers, and a lot of amazing machines.
Okay.
They're great. The best machines I've ever used, and I'll never not use Dan Cubans.
Do you think?
Probably.
Do you know a lot of other artists that you look up to use them, or?
I know a lot of artists that use like Bishops.
Oh yeah.
You know,
That's
Bishop is super
staple.
popular, but it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's just one of the bigger brands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so much of that is just personal preference.
Right.
You know, you can have a machine that has the same stroke on it
Mm-hmm.
from one machine builder to another, and it can still feel different.
Yeah.
You know, like my Bishop has the same stroke as my Dan Cuban. The Dan Cuban feels like it hits better. I don't know what
Okay.
it is.
Yeah.
Like quadrants, I use those for all my needles pretty much. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Best cartridges in the game, in my opinion, again. You know, but some guys like Easies, some guys like Papas, some guys like these. And
Right.
it's just so different for everybody, which I think is weird, but also cool at the same time.
Yeah.
Would you say that like there's a piece of equipment or like kind of like workflow habits that some artists overlook that you think would make like big difference in tattooing for your style?
I guess that's a tough one. I know I would have to see their kind of workflow to really be able to tell you.
Yeah.
You know, because so many of us work so many different ways and
Right.
have so many different styles of how we approach clients or approach our tattoos. I mean, I would definitely say approaching a geometric tattoo is drastically different than approaching like a realism piece
Yeah.
or like a new school piece or something.
Is there anything you've seen like in mainstream, or at least in like mandala and ornamental, that like you were like, oh man, should be doing this? You know, have you ever come across that?
I don't really think so. I feel like I'm still learning so much
Mm-hmm.
that instead of seeing it as like a, oh, that's wrong, I see it as like, why are they doing it that way?
Okay.
You
So
know what I
it's
mean?
more of a, what made you take this
Yeah,
step,
exactly.
or what made you use
'Cause
this
we're all-
throw, or what made you use this needle,
Yeah.
or pull this way, you know?
Yeah, because we're all getting to the same place, you know,
Right.
to do a really cool tattoo.
Right.
And all of our journeys are different
Mm-hmm.
in the way that we do the tattoo, you
Yeah.
know, obviously. So I don't really, I think earlier in my career, I was like, that's wrong. That's dumb.
Right.
But it's like the more I'm learning that like there are so many different ways and like ways that I'm like, what the heck are you doing, brother?
Right.
I'm like, that is ass backwards to me. But then they finish the tattoo and it looks incredible. And I'm like, how did you even do that?
Have you used something like that where like at first, like now, like back in
Oh,
when
yeah.
you started, you were like, what the fuck? And
Well, it's just
now
like
you're
getting,
now I use that, and now you know what I'm saying?
yeah. So like when I went to Wisconsin to get my face tattoo from Mitch,
Okay.
there was a couple of things that he was showing me.
Right.
And I was like, bro, this just seems like such a long walk for a small drink of water kind of
Right.
stuff. You know what I mean? And he was like, no, it's actually really nice because when this does and this, and then when I apply this and this, and I was like, oh. I was like, damn, that's actually pretty smart. Because that's one of those things where like he was like, he'll literally measure out exactly how big these patterns need to be before his clients even come in.
How does he do that? With
Oh,
just a
I mean, he does it
reference
through, you know, so he'll lay
AI?
out the arm exactly and he'll write, you know, where he wants everything. And he sizes your arm exactly to like the right size.
Okay.
Which like, I don't do all that.
Okay.
I like the looser kind of like go with the flow kind of situation, you know?
Go a little shorter. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll print it a
Or
little
like
bigger,
as I'm
and I'll
drawing,
draw it.
yeah,
Okay.
as I'm drawing, I'm like, we'll just figure that out when we get there.
Okay.
But him, no, he's meticulous on every little thing. It's
Okay.
insane. So I started getting a little bit more meticulous on some stuff, you
Yeah.
know? Because usually I'll like print it out and I kind of just, I'm like, I feel like 10% bigger. Well, let's go 5% bigger.
Right. Which is
And I
pretty
kind of just
normal.
like,
Yeah.
you know, figure it out from there. Like
Mhm.
that freaking turd, he probably goes to like 2.5% or something crazy.
Yeah.
He's
Does
so,
it like, oh, so he's not like freehanding over there. He's
No,
just
his-
straight
everything's-
stencil
yeah.
and like
he does a
whatever
little bit of
goes-
freehanding and stuff too when it needs to be, but
Right.
yeah, he's definitely more heavy.
Which obviously it came out great. I saw
yeah.
it. Definitely.
Dude's
looks
incredible.
cool.
But it's him and I doing the same style of tattoos and both doing, you know,
Getting
good
to that
tattoos.
spot. Yeah.
We just do it differently.
Yeah.
The different flows. And I mean, even in our style, we still have drastically different styles,
Yeah.
which is crazy too.
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing with, you know, Ilya, a guy who's tattooed both him and I. Even his style is unbelievably different than mine.
I heard he has a heavy hand.
I've
The
heard
word
that
on the street.
I've heard that too. I was there.
The word on the street. Yeah.
I was there.
Ilya's got a heavy.
Sorry, Ilya, but that hurt really bad.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about yourself. So, like, more like, what do you like to do? I know you're a big Golden Knights fan. Go Knights. And, you know,
All day.
tell me, I know you like to eat. We've been out to
Yeah, I do enjoy food.
a couple restaurants when we went to Arizona.
Oh, yeah, that place was nice.
Oh, man.
It's like
What's
Wolf-
it called again?
Wolf something.
Oh, Wolf.
Wolfgang something.
No, it's not Wolfgang.
Wolfgang
Probably not.
No,
Wolfgang.
no. It was like,
I'm just thinking Wolfgang.
I always
I don't
remember.
know, but
I always remember that restaurant. That was
the art on the wall was weird.
the
but
art, everything.
it
That
was a
place
little
was
weird, but it was cool.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
Yeah, right after we got fucking gypped for second place.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. So like we got, obviously, I think I talked in the first episode that the leg Austin did got second place in one of the conventions we went to.
Yeah,
But
I'm still mad at that.
we kind of got snubbed. If you want to talk about that, I remember Austin's face when I was coming
It
to
was
get
probably
when I got called for second place. I
priceless.
looked at him and I was like, and he just like, you know, you should be maybe happy you got second place, but then when you see what got first, so I'll let you
So-
talk about it.
So we spent, I don't even know how many hours on that leg.
Oh, dude,
Forever.
at least eight sessions.
How many
Sessions.
days?
8 days at least.
Coming from him.
I think, yeah, probably
8 days.
7, 8 days.
And then we tattooed at the convention.
And yeah, we finished it there.
Yeah.
Spent all this time, and literally every single person that's walking by this booth is like stopping, and they're like
geeking out.
They're like, dude, that's insane. I didn't know you could do that, blah, blah. And like, we're vibing high. And we're like, dude, we're taking this like geometric category. I'm like, bro, we're taking first place. Like, literally he drove out there just to finish it.
Yeah, we made it like we talked about.
I remember when he left and stuff like that. And
yeah, whole trip out of this, right? And we're all vibing. We're like, dude, this is a first place tattoo. It still is.
There was nothing in my mind I thought we were gonna get.
No, and then what bugs me about some of these conventions is the judges aren't even tattooers.
Yeah,
because the people who judged yours and like that whole category were the circus people. These turds go around like swallow swords and spit fire. I'm like, how are you gonna judge a tattoo?
Yeah.
Which, whatever. That's just how it is. That's whatever.
No hate towards you guys. You know who you are.
Just the two that judge this tattoo.
Yeah, the first.
But first place is a Polynesian sleeve, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. I think Polynesian's great. I like the culture behind it, and I think it's all cool. But it wasn't even close to how dynamic and crazy ours is. Now I just sound like a whiny
So what he's saying is basically we got second,
like a whiny bitch,
and the first place was a Polynesian tribal tattoo that the judges considered geometric. And that's what took first place over mine. So we left there a little salty.
Yeah, but
incredibly salty.
I feel like you have to take in. I feel like you have to take into like geometric. Like even though like I think it's Polynesian's been around a lot longer. Geometric, and I feel like geometric, like from my standpoint, and I could be wrong in this, so you could check me on it, is like coming out of the woodwork like fucking swinging. So I feel like people don't, not that they don't appreciate it much, but they don't like know it as well. So maybe there was more issue in like categories, right? Like I feel like geometric should have its own category, and like Polynesian is its own category. So like off the rip,
I don't know if there was a Polynesian category.
Or they do like a tribal category, or like a geometric, or they'll just combine the two. Just because there's not that many geometric artists.
So they don't feel like they have enough contestants. They're like, oh, we're gonna pick up.
Because there's been times where it was the New Orleans convention back in like 21 or 22. And the geometric category, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I threw 2 tattoos in there, and I threw 2 of 4 that were in that category for that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I won first and second.
But it wasn't, but no one's going to know that. No one knows how many people were entered. Do you know? Whatever.
But it was just funny because that's a perfect example of like, there's just not enough.
Yeah, especially in certain demographics. I feel like probably on the West Coast, you'd see more of this than the East Coast and like the South.
Yeah, I mean, there's even like states that I do terrible in. Like there's states I will never go back to tattoo.
Like, well, that was.
I just don't stay busy. My style just isn't popular. Like Texas is a big state where I just don't do that good. I almost never do geometric tattoos in Texas.
That's surprising because Texas is like the Longhorns and like
they love black and gray, but
they love black and gray. So I would think like color realism wouldn't be as popular. But then again, I've also never stepped foot in Texas. It's all from what I see online.
It is on the rise. Like we just saw the other day with that website we were looking, that geometric and blackwork are trending right now.
Oh yeah,
so
quite a bit.
You know, it's still untapped. I feel like so. You know, this part of the whole show is like getting people to see different things that they've never seen before. Like, what? You could get that done, or I've never seen this before. Like, that's the whole point, is to, like, to teach and for people to learn, and more knowledge for us as people, you as tattoo artists, you know, things like that. So that's the whole point.
Yeah, it's the cool thing about this industry is there's always something new happening.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really ugly and dumb, like cybersigilism, I think is ridiculous.
I don't even know what that is.
It's really stupid.
Is it new?
Speaking of that,
it's like tribal, but like not filled in all the way.
So talking about like tattoos and stuff, pet peeves, mainstream stuff, there's a lot of stuff all over the internet. What is like your biggest pet peeve in like the tattooing world right now?
I would say AI for sure. I cannot stand people using AI for everything.
So like people that like artists that are just straight up using AI for imagery, concept, design, placement. Like,
I've even had people that like at conventions or something, and they will literally brag about how they just have their client come in, they have their client type in the stuff that they want into the actual app of AI.
Oh shit! So now they're not.
The AI designs it, and then they will copy it. Exactly. I mean, there's a way to use AI, I think, as a tool, way to help you to get better, but I think it's way too easy for people to use it as like
cop out
the whole thing.
Creativity.
You know, I will never
slacking.
I'd rather it take me longer to get better
Yeah.
and have like a couple bad tattoos along the way
Right.
than me just skipping to the end and being like, yep, look at me, I'm the best designer, but I'm using AI the whole time.
Right. So
It's
like
just-
conceptually and
yeah.
like creativity is just like out the door because like
I'm sure there are ways to do it the right way,
mhm.
but I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school or a turd or like I don't want to
Yeah.
go with the
I mean,
changing
personal
of
preference,
times.
right? Like that's
don't
why
know.
we asked the question because maybe
just-
the AI tattooer, like, there's a reason behind it. You know,
I'm just not a big fan of AI just in general, anyways, because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the AI is just going to kill us all.
That's like me and Teslas. Like these guys love their Teslas. I don't trust them.
Yeah, I don't trust none of that
Yeah, I
crap,
don't
dude.
trust the electronics.
I'm way too much of like a conspiracy theorist,
Yeah, yeah. So we're very similar in that. That's like
Yeah.
me and like
AI is going to run the world.
like I'll never. I'm like what is it? Will Smith and iRobot.
Oh, dude,
That's how I feel.
Like, it's not
That's
even a
how
movie
I
anymore.
feel.
It's a
General-
documentary now.
Yeah, dude.
Who knew iRobot would be a documentary?
Yeah, right. It's real life. It's happening.
It literally is, yeah.
What are like your hobbies and stuff just for like people watching, learning more about you? I know you like Golden Knights games.
Yeah, I'm a huge hockey fan. I play hockey. I'm a goaltender for like 2-3 teams out here in Vegas.
Okay.
Just beer league teams where we usually just have a couple beers, go suck at hockey, and then complain
Yeah.
about how bad we are at hockey afterwards,
Yeah.
Big into motorcycles, love
Mhm.
motorcycles. I have 3 of them right now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I have a Honda Shadow, a Ninja 400, and then an R7.
Okay.
Love working on bikes and stuff. The Honda Shadow is a huge project bike that I've been working on for a
Yeah.
while. I fix one thing and then something else is wrong. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's just projects for you. Really into like gaming and stuff too.
Okay.
Like right now,
What
Battlefield
games?
6, dude, you can't get me off the Battlefield.
Okay.
6.
Okay.
I'll just get baked or do some shrooms and then
Do you-
literally just play Battlefield 6 all.
Are you gonna do Arc Raiders? That's another one that just came out.
I haven't really looked into it.
It's what is it? It's kind of like an extractor. That's what it is.
Oh,
It's like an
okay.
extractor game, and I've seen that online. It looks pretty cool. You should
Those
check
are
it
pretty
out.
cool. Yeah, like Elden Ring is one of my favorite games too.
Okay.
I have an
okay.
embarrassing amount of time played on that game.
So you like
So like 400 plus hours on one game is ridiculous.
Hell yeah! Are you a Battlefield guy or a Call of
Oh,
Duty guy?
Battlefield all day.
Okay, so Battlefield. You
Call of
heard
Duty
it.
is like Fortnite for adults.
Okay, all right.
so
all right.
dumb now.
So
I
you're
hate it.
hardcore Battlefield.
Yeah, oh yeah,
okay.
all day.
Battlefield's dope. I got into Battlefield when my Xbox worked. It hasn't worked, so now I just watch.
That's on both now.
But like Battlefield is definitely a blast, dude.
Oh, it's so much more fun. Yeah. I think what else. I like going to concerts and going to good food spots. Hanging out with friends. Just general everyday
Yeah.
stuff. I think that most of us have in common, really.
Any new restaurants in Vegas you've tried that you really love?
I went to Top Sushi over on like
Okay.
Sahara and Rainbow, and I was actually surprised at how good that place was.
Okay.
Because my favorite sushi spot just closed for whatever reason.
What was that?
Jenga or
Oh,
Duck?
yeah.
Over on like Fort Apache and Sunset.
I didn't even know
think.
they closed.
Would you say sushi's your favorite? Like, what's your favorite food?
Oh, like sushi, Korean barbecue are probably my favorites.
So if you were stranded on an island
I hope
and
it's
you
a
could
Korean
only pick
barbecue.
one, okay, Korean barbecue.
I hope it's a Korean
So
barbecue.
you go
island.
Korean barbecue. That's dope.
Yeah, I used to live in Korea, and we would do just
Oh, really?
barbecue all the time.
That's sick, dude. I like Korean barbecue
Yeah,
for sure. I
it's
can
so
only do
good.
so much sushi, and then I'm like,
Yeah, that's the thing. I love sushi, but it's like once every 2 weeks, and they're
Yeah.
good.
like
But
dope
Korean
sauce
barbecue, I can go every day.
every day. Yeah, for sure, because you can mix it differently.
Yeah,
as
it's just
well.
more diverse,
Yeah,
I guess.
that's for sure.
And I'm a carnivore at heart, so.
Yeah, I believe. I love the meats.
Okay.
He loves it. You're
He
right.
likes the meats.
We're gonna cut that. We'll cut that out.
Arby's.
We love the meats.
Arby's.
Well, I mean, I think we're pretty much closing up here. What do you want to tell the viewers? Anything you want to say? We'll leave it to you to like close it off.
Get cool tattoos. That's a good place to start when we finish, I think.
All right.
Okay.
Get sick work. Don't complain. No numbing cream.
No numbing
Yeah,
cream.
So no numbing cream.
Yeah, don't be a bitch. Just get the tattoo. It's
Don't
not that
be a
hard.
bitch. Just sit there.
All right.
That's really it. All right, dude. Well, thanks for coming on, and we'll have everything in the link in the description.
Yeah.
That's really it.
I appreciate
Thank
it, guys.
you, Austin.
Looking forward to you opening your new shop too.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Definitely. If you're gonna have like
stressful and fun.
what's it called? Like what do you call it? The when you have a new house and
The grand
house
soft
warm,
opening.
like a,
The grand
like a
opening.
shop warming, I guess.
Yeah, grand
Soft
opening.
Yeah, yeah,
grand opening.
yeah, grand opening.
Yeah, I'll make
party,
sure to
something like
not
that.
tell you when that is.
Yeah, okay. Is it because I
Well,
use
it's by
numbing
him,
cream?
but not you. Yeah.
It's because I use numbing cream, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
No
bro.
bitches allowed.
Sorry, dude. All right. I think that's it.